Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Big Block Ford Ranger build. This one's going to be an exciting one. We're going to mount the motor, alright, motor and transmission. We're going to get the steering knuckle at the correct angles. That way it's safe to steer this thing, because obviously I got to move it over because, well, that had a little 4-banger in it. And if you haven't watched episode 1, I strongly encourage it. It'll be like up top. Click on that. Watch episode 1, then come back, and then you'll be up to date. But anyway, so mounting the engine, mounting the transmission, moving the steering knuckle, and you know what? I heard back from the facility that it is legal for me to put the radiator in the bed of the truck. That is what is in store for this episode today. So a lot of fabrication, a lot of figuring it out. Is it going to work? And pulling the line to, is it going to pass tech? Hope so. Buckle up, because it's going to be a good one. I appreciate you tuning in. Let's get into the episode. Cue the intro. All right, where to start? Well, I really need to mark out where to cut out on the firewall, because valve covers, the distributor, whole 9 yards, they're going to end up hitting, or at least coming real close to hitting. And the transmission is all hitting on the transmission tongue. Obviously, there was a little 4-cylinder in here with a little bitty transmission, and I'm sticking a big old V8 with a semi-medium-sized transmission. So what I plan on doing, if you want to focus in here a little bit, what I plan on doing, these are my rivets for my accelerators. There we go, couldn't think of the word. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up like this, we're going to go straight up from here, and then we're going to come out. I believe we're going to come out here. Go down, right through the middle of that plate, down here, down to the tongue. So that whole square right there is going to come out, just to make putting this sucker in easier. Now, putting that back in, that might be a different story on the ease of things, but you know, I'm doing all of this at my house. I'm doing this build, I'm keeping it under $5,000. Excuse me. I'm keeping it under $5,000, and I'm doing it all in my home garage. I'm not going to my shop in Ocala that's like got the lift and got all the plasma cutter, the TIG welder, the MIG welder, none of that. Just my little Matco tools, 110 welder, and my shop here. Before we go any further, we got to get this interior out, because we got to go down the tunnel cover. So let's do that. Alrighty, so now we have free range to cut whatever we want. I was going to pull this whole harness out, but I might use some of that wiring. Don't know yet. Anyway, here's the view from the driver's side. Looks fantastic, don't it? No, not at all. Not yet, anyway. That's actually nice on the bottom. Look how shiny it is. Pretty. Anyway, let's get to cutting. Remember, when using a def wheel, always use vision protection. This will be one of the first times I've done this, so, you know, hopefully it all pans out. Here we go! Let's remove. Oh no, there's something there. There we go. Yeah. One piece, and it's a square. Well, it's squared off, so it should be relatively easy. I say this, it should be relatively easy to modify that and weld that back into the vehicle. Now, next step, get our motor and transmission back in place. So, let me hook it up and get it maneuvered to where we can place her in finally and get a mock-up of where the engine needs to go. So we are actually sitting really good in the engine bay, nice and low. Transmission is relatively level. I got to get the level out. That's kind of how we're sitting. It is going to sit up about 1.5 inches, 2 inches taller than that. We are real close to this spark plug right here, to the steering shaft. But whenever we raise the engine up a little bit, that'll take care of that. This side is free and clear all day long, no worries. Let me show you what the inside looks like. Gonna have to get some light on the subject because it's dark, it's after work. Bam. See, we're in here a little bit. Not a lot though. Alrighty. Let me do some math now and some figure, and I'll bring you back. It'll probably be the next day if I'm being honest, because it is really late right now. And I'm getting kind of hungry. A fella's got to eat. I see you tomorrow. I'm a nice person. I like to help folks out. Anyone who knows me will tell you that that is 100% truth. You could take it to the bank. My neighbor needed the cherry picker, so I'm like, you know what? Let me do a couple things first, and you can come get it. So, as you can see, vaguely, there is some mounts down here. Let me show you what I did. And I think you're gonna laugh, but it's gonna be safe, it's gonna work. It's gonna be safe and it's gonna work. So, right over them, y'all, you can see some aftermarket vibration dampening engine mounts. Over here, you see an expertly spaced engine mount. I don't know why that's not in focus, but anyway, those are lug nuts, and that is a universal engine mount. Well, if we come over here to the passenger side, you'll see that that is an OE big block engine mount. That worked. That worked. So it's all inclusive, if you will. And these, I have tacked these in place, and we getting ready to fab them up after I clean up some more metal. And then we're going to, if I can go over and pick up my cherry picker, we're going to pick the motor up from here and place it in there and see how good I did. And then we can measure up for the transmission mount. So let me go get my cherry picker. Get on there. I'm not understanding. Get on. Get. You know. There we go. Oh, yes. And she's permanently affixed. Yes. That's, I mean, the hard part's done, right? Isn't that the hard part? Ain't that supposed to be the hard part? I don't know. Hopefully that's the hard part, because that wasn't too bad. So, motor and transmission's mounted, and cross members in. It's all bolted up. Everything is solid. It's part of the truck. Yes. Now, cooling. Now it's time to start the cooling system. Cooling system's going in the bed of the truck. Let me get you back there. So welcome to the bed of the truck. From here back is a whole bunch of stuff. There's the radiator that we're going to use, some fans, and I have this bracket. It is a bracket that is a left foot accelerator for individuals with disabilities who can't use their right leg. We can install this in a drop floor minivan, and they can operate the accelerator with their left foot. This is a bracket for one of those drop floor deals. It goes like this. The left foot accelerator goes here, and it's kind of like a foot shelf, but this is the drop floor portion of that. Here's what I'm thinking. Set that right there like that. Lean the radiator down on top of it just like that. Bolt it in place, and there's our rad mount, and then we can mark out on the bed where we need to cut holes for the send and return lines need to go, some vent holes so that way hot air just isn't bellowing right here in this general area, and that way it's nice and safe. I have the back glass so hot water is not going to spew on me, and we have plenty of room up front. So that's the plan, and what I want to do is I want to drill these two center holes, and then I bought this chicken lo mein style rib nut kit off of Amazon, and I'm just going to slide some rib nuts in there, and then we could just bolt it on, and I might do the same for the rad, or I might just bolt them on, nut and bolt it. But let's see how it goes. Let's drill the first hole. This was a trial run that I was just kind of playing with, and I drilled those too big, so those are useless. So I'm going to go to the inside holes. Excuse me, Rad. I need you out of the way. Okay. Apply pressure. Shake a little. Okay. Now, we'll ease this in. That looks like it's still too small. Just a shimmy more. So one more line. And I believe that'll do it. Let's see if that works. Now, my little kit here, you can go right here. I've only used this a couple times. Let's see. Is that gonna, that doesn't thread in there. All right, let me get the proper deal installed here. All right, let's see if I did this correctly. In who, grab it, pull. Screw it in tighter maybe. There we go, that seemed tight. Unscrew it. No wiggles. Rib nut, yes. Let me do the other one and kind of get an idea for the radiator. Nice and solid. There we go. Yes. Let me put stuff back away where it's supposed to be so I don't lose it. I'm struggling. There we go. Yep. Up, out, other way. Back here. Yeah. Now the goal is to bring this over here like this, set that up like that with something bracing it on the bottom. I like it. What you think? I know this radiator's beat up, but you know, hey, it's what I got. I had it in the tree row. It literally has sat outside for like 3 years. It'll be fine. Now, mounting this, I'm thinking about right there. Battery box out of the way, blah, blah, blah. Core mount down here. Done. Let me throw some riv nuts in that then. Now that we have a fixed location for the radiator, now I could throw holes in the bed by taking some heater hose, kind of marking out a straight line from it, bam, knowing that I'm going to be able to use a 2-inch hole saw, punch through the bed. Do that on both sides. The scary thing on this side is, well, this is where the fuel tank is. Now, on the radiator that I pulled out of here, I found this. This actually had a little more woobity-wobbity on it. And my plan is, this straight, mount that to the radiator, drops through the bed, and just as it caresses the bottom of the bed, shoot straight across, because I'm going to have 2 steel pipes running along the frame rail mounted to it for my coolant lines to go up to the front of the truck. Steel lines, that way there's no issue with pressure or heat or anything like that. Weld a barb on the end of it, done. Barb, you know, weld around it so the hose clamp has something to catch. And then, yeah, bada bing, bada boom, run them up front. So now I'm going to undo everything that I just did, of course, and start punching a hole through this perfectly good bed. Nope, not at all. Dented up, rusty, not really rusty, but it's gonna serve my purpose. What size did I put in there? That size. Hey, just so you know, 5/16 hardware requires a 1/2-inch socket. Sure, right about there. That's better. Perfect. Okay. Reinstallation of things. Yes, I will have, it's called, listen, I know you're going to make a joke. It's called GIMP. It's rubber that goes along sharp edges. It's called GIMP. So I guess you could say, whenever I go to fully install this, I'm going to have to get the GIMP. If you get that reference, comment below. Get the GIMP. Start. There we go. Yeah. Get up there. Focus. Oh my gosh. Wrong set of holes, Rob. Wrong set of holes. Doop 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 doop. There we go. That, man, that looks a lot better. Okay. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Roughly in not that position. Roughly in that position right there. Right? Yes. Screw gun. Ish. Ish. Okay. Ish. Perfect-ish. Now this, yep, that'll go right through there. Now this side. And then this guy can feed through there. Figure out where in the world it's got to go. And bam, just like that. Probably rotate a little. There will be GIMP on here, so we ain't got to worry about the hairs. All right, let me show you. Follow me. Here we go. So, there's one hole. And then we go over here, go behind the, and then over here, this will go down inside here, boop, 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 done. And then I'll cut 2 squares, one behind each fan after I make the radiator shroud. The way that I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna get cardboard and I'm gonna cut it out to measure from here to here, okay? I'm gonna cut out the cardboard. It's exactly to and fro and to and fro, right? Then I'm gonna place my fans on here, one up here, one down there, and then I'm gonna mark it out with a Sharpie, cut it out, and then go put it on a piece of steel that I got from another vehicle, and then make my own shroud. And then it'll mount up here into like these holes or something like that. So yeah, there's the rad system. We are trucking along with this build. Mind you, this is like the second day, third day that I've been working on it. And what do we got? We got the engine mounted, the transmission mounted, and in place, the transmission cross member in place. Motor mount solid, radiator solid-ish. I am gonna 3D print some rubber isolators. That way vibration doesn't harm that radiator and it'd make me happier, right? We got the holes cut out of the bed for the rad hoses. I had to order some radiator hoses because they're kind of weird sizes, right? Because I'm going to be running steel piping along the frame rail coming from the bed up here. That way, I already explained that. Anywho's and way, this is where we're going to stop for today. I've got other obligations that I've got to get to, and that's as much time as I've got to spend on it for a while. But stay tuned, because in the next episode, I'm going to be routing or plumbing the radiator. I'm going to start working on a shift mechanism, and I got to start sealing up the cab, right? So seam seal, fabrication work, all of that good jazz. And then once all that's completed and I know it's right, we've got to build this engine. That's going to be fun. I'm looking so forward to it. You're never going to guess the color scheme that I'm going with. It's going to be great. But I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the things. And there's like this new thing with YouTube. There is, if you look at the comments, right? And if you're watching on your phone, the comments are right below it. You swipe to the right or left, however you want to say it. And there's going to be a hype button there. If you don't mind, if you like the content, click that hype button. And it really helps the channel get pushed out into the world. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. And all of the new subscribers, welcome to Tree Row. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And we'll see you right here next time on Tree Row Rescue. See ya.